Is up, fellow YouTubers? It's your sexy goth bad boy Adam Pacitti back again with another video. Let's take a look at the headlines, you cool cobras. Seth Rollins has teased a new faction member. A WWE Hall of Famer has been accused of racism by fans. And The Undertaker has given an update on potential future WrestleMania matches. We'll get there in a bit. So, if you missed Monday Night Raw this week, I think it's fair to say that you actually missed a pretty decent show. And part of that show was Rey Mysterio addressing the rumours that he is set to retire. It's all kayfabe stuff, we know that. It follows the attack by Seth Rollins where he took his bloody eye out. Anyway, when asked if Rey was going to retire, Rey pretty much just responded, I don't really know. But via this video link promo that they were having, Dominic came on screen and he was left there when Rey had departed and he said, Seth Rollins, an eye for an eye. So Dominic Mysterio has got his sights set on Seth Rollins. That's a sentence I never thought I was going to say. Anyway, catching up with Seth Rollins after the show on Raw Talk, Seth Rollins said, Dominic is a young man. I understand his position, but I believe he's just a little bit confused. I think he needs to take a step back. I think he needs to understand that this isn't a personal attack on his father. That's not what this is. This is a necessary sacrifice. Dominic, look, I've seen him make his way between these ropes. I've seen what he's capable of. There's a bright future awaiting Dominic, and I know just the person who could lead him to that future. Oh, so he wants, the implication is very clear. He wants Dominic to come and join Murphy, Austin Theory, and Seth Rollins, and I'm all for this. Totally all for this. First of all, Seth Rollins has been fantastic. This, to me, even more so than the Authority stuff, this is the run of his career. I think he's so bloody good right now. One thing that always troubled me with the Wyatt family storyline, with the exception of, I guess, Braun Strowman joined a little bit later, he was there for a while, and with the exception of Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, they never really expanded, despite the fact that they were a cult. And Seth Rollins' faction feels like a cult, and it's quite interesting to see that already it's expanding, and he's looking for new members. There are obvious sort of practical benefits to this happening as well. Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic, He's obviously trained to wrestle and everything, but he's not used to performing on a grand stage, apart from the odd WWE appearance here and there. Something consistent like this, where if he were to join Seth Rollins after a little feud between Rey and Seth, or some tag matches between Rey and Dominic, and then Seth's boys, or whatever, right? It would really benefit him, because he's in there with experienced pros. He could hone his in-ring craft, he could get better at promos, etc, etc. And I think it's a great idea. And also, this could lead to, at SummerSlam, another match for the custody of Dominic Mysterio. And I'm not even joking when I say I would bloody love to see that. If Seth were to win that one, and he gets custody of Dominic, yes please, take my money. So yeah, I think this is good stuff. I think it's one of the best storylines on Raw right now, and I'm really interested to see where it goes. Time will tell. Next up, unfortunately, time for some rather unpleasant news as we talk about one Tamara Sitch, formerly known as Sunny, WWE Hall of Famer, the original diva. She has been accused of racism by fans after, well, being racist on Twitter. So this stems back to a tweet from the 2nd of June where she wrote, okay, here we go. I love President Trump. There, I said it. Hashtag keep America great. Hashtag bring in the armed forces. Hashtag vandals and looters and violent animals are going down. This was met, of course, with a lot of criticism from wrestling fans. She was flooded with replies, so she followed up with, so all of you haters are in support of all this violence, looting and killing of innocent people. So it's okay for innocent people to get harmed and killed by these animals, but it's not okay for these animals to be taken down for their actions. Hypocrites! More negativity in her replies, understandably, to which she followed up with, you know what's funny? I said animals, not black animals, and these black people are getting their panties in a bunch. Guilty conscience, huh? Right there, you are naming yourself animals, not me. And once again, lots and lots of replies to her, calling her all sorts of stuff. She replied to one of these replies to an African American woman saying who called her a thug due to her previous arrest record, essentially. Obviously, Sunny has been arrested in the past for driving intoxicated and burglary as well. So she replied to a tweet to this woman saying, "You can call me a name, but what if I called you one? N ... The implication being, of course, that she was going to use the N-word. And really just nasty stuff. She was replying to lots of people. A lot of these tweets have since been deleted. She would end up following up in reply to one user simply saying, "Yeah, okay, whatevs, hashtag white power." Insane stuff. Her account is still active on Twitter. Part of me thinks that this was just a way of her promoting her OnlyFans, because while this was all going on, in the middle of it, she made sure to get a link to her OnlyFans account. So maybe this was just a way of getting more eyes on her profile and pushing more traffic there. I don't know. Following up on the animals stuff as well, she replied to another user saying, "Thanks, but that's what you animals do. You're just proving me right." Then with lots of laughing emojis and 2 monkey emojis as well. So her intentions are pretty clear here. And this isn't the first time that she's made very, very controversial remarks on social media. Back in 2015, following the terrorist attack in Paris, which claimed the lives of 128 people, she wrote on Facebook, "What I think the world needs now is another Holocaust, but this time for the Islams of the world." She means Muslims. This one, the ones who really should be extinguished. Hail Trump. So, there you have it. It turns out the woman who routinely drives intoxicated and puts other people's lives on the line, who has made horrible bigoted comments before, might not be a nice person. So, I would suggest not supporting former WWE diva Sunny in the future. NXT TakeOver in your house is this Sunday, and I cannot bloody wait. Keep an eye out, obviously, for predictions, and I'll be doing a live stream on the night, etc., etc. Anyway, Kenny McIntosh of Inside the Ropes, hello, got a chance to talk to Tommaso Ciampa, who has a match on Sunday night against Karrion Kross, which should be fantastic also. And the topic of the In Your House set came up. Obviously, fans are clamoring for a return of the classic In Your House set with the house and all of that good stuff. So Tommaso Ciampa commented on this, saying, "I think it's fair to get your hopes up. I've got my hopes up. It's the first question I asked, if I'm honest with you. The one thing I'm hoping for on top of that is to see a Todd Pettingill sighting at some point. I don't know on that one. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed." He continues, "I've heard promising things on the set. I don't know if that means the old set or a renewed version of it. I know that everybody understands how excited the fan base is for In Your House. It's one of those weird ones, right? It's just stuck with all of us. Yeah, I think everybody's going to be happy with what's being produced." So, I mean, time will tell. I don't think we'll find out until Sunday night. It's not the sort of thing where I think leaked images are going to get out, unless WWE do a little like social media video or preview or something to hype the show. Really excited. I wouldn't get your hopes up on Todd Pettingill either, but very, very much looking forward to it. Fingers crossed with all the money that they saved with those firings, right? That they could maybe give away another house like they did at the first In Your House. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, if you want to catch the rest of that interview, you can head over to Inside the Ropes on YouTube. Check out Kenny's channel. It's wonderful. There's all sorts of great stuff on there. Give him a subscribe. And finally, The Undertaker has been chatting to the Toronto Sun about potential future WrestleMania matches. Obviously, this year, he had the Boneyard match, which wasn't really a match. It was a cinematic experience, but it was wonderful. It was fantastic stuff. So, talking to the Toronto Sun, he said, "I feel like I've got a match left that is befitting what I feel that the legacy of The Undertaker deserves. But the hard part is, if I grade myself on where I was physically in the early 2000s. I don't grade myself on the curve of it being 2020 and me being 55 years old. The expectations of what I have for myself with the limitations that I have physically, it really is a delicate balance." And then he goes on to say, "You've got to take really good care of yourself. Okay, is this the match that you're looking for? Is it in the realm of possibility? And do I risk long-term damage?" And then he goes on to talk about the fact that he has young kids and essentially doesn't want to mess himself up too badly. by potentially injuring himself in a match. So I guess Undertaker in recent years has had good matches. The match with Roman against Drew and Shane springs to mind, and then he's had bad matches. Obviously Goldberg, and then the tag match against DX as well wasn't all that great either. I like the fact that, you know, Vince must love it as well, that the Undertaker now he's sort of sorted for the next 10 years if they want him. They can do these cinematic matches that are still physical, but the performers are very much protected. But Undertaker here, with what he's saying, he's very much talking about an actual in-ring wrestling match with, you know, proper wrestling. And it sounds like he's hopeful that he'll be able to have at least one more. I'd be up for it. You don't want somebody to get hurt, but as long as he feels that he is able to perform in a way that he's happy with and that he's safe, I'd be up for another Undertaker match. I don't know. The one that I'd really, really like to see is Taker versus Aleister Black. Ideally with Aleister Black going over. Or The Fiend would be wonderful as well. There's loads of potential for one last big WrestleMania match. But again, the two names that I've just mentioned there, they're two that would work in a cinematic match as well. For sure, they could do some great stuff with Fiend or Aleister Black in a cinematic match. So, let me know who you want The Undertaker to face at WrestleMania in the comments down below. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday as best you can. All my love, goodbye.